Spy is a really powerful class, because he has the ability to one-shot every single class in the game with just a click of a button. However, this can be difficult, because if your opponents are aware of their surroundings, then they can kill you really easily, because you have to get really close to backstab. And by close, I mean breathing down their neck. And if they notice you, or any of their teammates notice you, you're practically dead, because Spy only has 125 max HP, and Soldier's rocket launcher or Pyro's flamethrower could kill you in seconds. But Spy has a gun. I know this is really obvious, but people underestimate Spy's gun. I mean, it has really decent damage at medium range, with it being able to do 45 damage. And if you hit all your shots on an enemy, you can cripple them. And if you really like Spy's gun, then you could even adopt your whole playstyle around it, with Gunspy. This subclass trades out backstabbing for Spy's gun. Now I know that sounds crazy, which it is, but this can really work. But the revolver isn't the only gun you can use for Gunspy. There's another option. Now I know this weapon isn't the best, it's the Ambassador. But hear me out here. Crits are good. Now if you don't know this already, the Ambassador crits on a headshot, which means you could do a max of 102 damage with a headshot crit. But there's a few downsides. The Ambassador has a minus 15% damage penalty, a 20% slower fire rate, and the critical damage is affected by range. Which I know sounds bad, but this weapon is still really good. Despite all these downsides, the Ambassador still shines in mid to close range combat. Remember, you can still do 102 damage, you just have to be closer to your enemy. And because of the critical damage being affected by range, that means you have to be in the battle. Being in the middle of the battle makes it harder to focus on hitting headshots, because you have to worry about all the enemies that are trying to kill you. But if you're just starting out and you're using the Ambassador, don't worry about hitting headshots. I mean, yeah, obviously still try and get them, but it's not the end of the world if you miss. Body shotting with this weapon isn't the best, but it can still work. Just pick on low health players and people trying to go get health packs. And try to stay further back, because remember, positioning with this weapon is key, because the Ambassador dominates at medium range. So if you position yourself correctly on a map, that can mean the difference from getting lots of headshots to getting none. I would also recommend playing on capture the flag maps if you're starting out, specifically Turbine because it's an enclosed space, so it should be easier for you to get headshots. Also, this weapon absolutely destroys Razorback snipers because you can just headshot them instead of backstabbing. I would also recommend pairing the Dead Ringer with this weapon because you can fake your death. Because if you want to do a lot of damage with your headshots, you have to be relatively close to your enemy. And this can be dangerous because Spy only has 125 max HP, which can easily be taken away with the rocket launcher or flamethrower. So the Dead Ringer can be really helpful with getting away. Also, just a small tip with the Dead Ringer, if you stay still after you activate it, it can really help sell your death more. Because when you activate the Dead Ringer, a small cloud of smoke appears around you, and if you move directly after this, your enemy can see where you're going for a split second. Now of course this doesn't work all the time, but sometimes this can be useful. And for Spy's knife, I would recommend using the Spicicle, because the Spicicle can really help with dealing with pyros. Because when hit with the flamethrower, the Spicicle gives you fireproof immunity for 1 second and afterburn immunity for 10 seconds. And this small burst of immunity can really help you get away from pyros. But that's just my personal favourite loadout. If you want to use the Cloak and Dagger or the Big Earner, feel free to. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video, so if you've come to the end, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like.